Chris, let's start with you. The 50% increase in energy is directly linked to the decisions of this government.
Yeah, look, if Labor had announced these policy outcomes, these budget outcomes 6 months ago, they wouldn't be in government, right?
Correct.
This is a mob who promised to increase our wages, and our wages will continue to shrink for the whole time they are in power. This is a mob who promised to cut our energy prices, and they're going up 50% in 2 years, and that's going to feed into inflation, which, as you say, they pretend is suddenly going to fall off a cliff. We are headed for a reckoning with reality here, especially on energy prices. This is not a surprise to those of us who have been talking about it for 10 years.
Correct.
But we warned before Labor was elected this was going to be a tragedy for the country. And I've got to tell you, people are going to be really worried, because when you're paying a mortgage and your interest rates are going up and you're trying to run a family and your electricity prices are going up by 50%, you are headed for a world of pain. And the people who feel this worst are supposedly the working families that Labor pretends to care for. And why are they doing this? How is it happening? Because Labor continues to chase a net zero delusion that they pretend is going to change our climate. Now, anybody who puts a minute of rational thought into this knows that what Australia does can't stop floods, fires, droughts. So they go with all that emotive nonsense. But what it can do is undercut our economy, put cost pressures on houses and families, and continue to send jobs offshore. I think this country, I hate all the politics. I was flicking around the channels today. Well, what will this do for the government? What will this do for the opposition? Guess what? What will it do for the country?
Thank you.
The next 3 years, this country is entering enormous pain.
Yeah, that's the thing, Andrew. We are heading for an iceberg. We are the Titanic and not the one that Clive Palmer will never build.
I think that's absolutely correct. Don't forget, too, that we're talking about 50% increase in power prices and electricity prices in over just 2 years. I mean, forget that lie that, Labor's going to cut your power bills by $275 a year. I mean, in the same budget that it says, we're working to give you cheaper power, it admits that power's going up 50% in 2 years. But that is before we actually see the consequences of the redoubling of Labor efforts, like in Victoria, in Queensland in particular, but also now with the national government, to actually effectively drive the remaining coal-fired power generators we have out of business. That is going to accelerate very, very fast. In fact, in Victoria, there probably won't be a single one left in 2035. So by that time, we're in the middle of a massive gamble with the economy, that we can destroy the power system. You see the cost so far, without anyone actually knowing what there will be to replace it. I have never seen something so reckless in my life.